My name is Iman Khayri from Casablanca. كبرت وعشت في Casa 100%. I just turned 20 in January. I'm still studying in China online for about 2 years now. I went to China in 2019. بديت الباك ديالي في 2019 وطبعا بعدا نعاود لك على الباك how it went. وكان العام كامل I was applying for the UK. Okay, I was passing the IELTS, visa, the procedure, the papers, everything in between for the UK. I got accepted. Oh, the fees were really, really expensive. When I say expensive, it's crazy expensive. العام 30 35 was really expensive. And by the time I knew I was not going to study in Morocco. No way, no way. And I'm not going to study in Europe. I wanted a change. I wanted to go not as far as possible. ولكن I wanted something new. ذاك لو شوك وعلاش في UK even though ما كاينش ذاك لو شوك الكبير ولكن I went to the UK before and I really loved it. I could see myself in there. بس إن شاء الله ما كتبش. Everything was so expensive and I didn't want to put my parents in the situation since I have 4 siblings. باقي يتابعوهم بزاف ديال الفخي آخرين and everything. دونك في ذاك الوقت there was this CCN الكامبوس اللي مشيت ليه لشاينا. They came to our school. They introduced the programs. They introduced the culture. And before, I didn't know that I had the opportunity to go to China. It seemed so far, was so unrealistic. Nobody goes to China and Morocco. 2019, 3 years before. I was like, can I really go? And I was like, how? Is it even possible? As a matter of China, time gap. I only see them in movies and hear about them. And voila, they just came to our school, introduced the programs. Everything looked so future orientated. كانوا كيهضروا على e-commerce على IT على robotics. Everything looked so fresh. زعما كلشي كان related to the future. Nothing seemed بحال okay you're gonna study business, you're gonna study medicine. Everything looked so fresh. زعما كيشوفوا بعيد. And I was like okay أنا أصلا I loved languages. I studied Korean before. And I was like, okay, this is the opportunity. I'm going to go there. Déjà, كنت motivated because some of my friends were already going there. ولكن I told my parents, obviously they were like, لا. Obviously, typical. The parent is going to be like, بنتي هتمشي للجهة الآخرى ديال الكرة الأرضية. The arguments, typical arguments. You're too far. If something ever happens, you're too far. I can't visit you. The culture shock, they're different. The Uyghur people, Muslim people, they do this to Muslims. You're not going to be able to fit in. Baba start looking for Spain, friends. ولا كيمشي يقلب هو كيجيب لي هيا لقيت لك هذا هو عندي واحد صاحبي في اسبانيا. Everything just to make me stay close. في المغرب قال لي I can pay for whatever you want. هي مدرسة بغيتي نخلص لك عليها ما عنديش مشكل. Just stay close. I was like, the goal is not staying close or far at all. In the priority. I know. It's not easy. وبنتي باقي عندها 17 عام وباقي ما شفتي فيها والو يلا كتحضرين everything. But there were other important stuff. صافي the priority à faire. I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back later. You're gonna see me. هذاك المشاكل ديال طرات لك شي حاجة كنقول لي بابا راه maybe even here in Casablanca with you. فهمتي راه داكشي ما عندوش علاقة بالبلاصة فين انتي. And also, you're too young. Yeah, I know I'm too young, but this is a step. I'm not gonna be too young anymore. This is a step I have to take right now. How it went? كنت قاعد list ديال les arguments. I know my parents, okay? أي argument كيعطيوه ليا بابا noted. It took me a while. It took them a while باش يستوعبوا الفكرة. And they saw how I was really into the idea. I was even applying for it for myself because because I know I was going at the end of the day. I applied for it a few days قبل من الباك. The condition obviously was like نجيب مزيان and I was already really working hard for it. I got a good, alhamdulillah, a good mark. Accepted. I had a scholarship, but not for the first year. So what was the plan? I was gonna pay for the first year. If I'm good for a score the first year, I'm gonna have the scholarship for the next 4 years. Which was really motivation for them. Okay, cool. We don't mind. Safi, everything was really good. Visa, everything went smoothly, easily. I was leaving home at 17. And Sarah, was there. It wasn't that hard. Leaving. Not that I don't love my parents or anything, but I was way too excited, ambitious. I really wanted to leave. That when I was leaving, I was so excited about leaving and not worried about leaving, if you get what I mean. It's leaving home, but also leaving to a better place. I went there. Everything was easy. In the first few days, I had two Moroccan amazing friends. They were there for the first few days. We discovered everything together. كنا في نفس الطيارة, نفس dorm. We all had the culture shock, the language shock, everything together. We discovered everything together. Like embarrassment to weird things that happened to you at first. Like shock, we had it together, which was really nice. Après, we started classes like 2 days after we arrived there. After we were late. So yeah, بدينا القراية. We were in the last class. دابا هما كانوا مستشفين حيت بنادم وصل قبل منا. They were organizing classes per level. Okay? So now we arrived زعما last. Obviously, we were in the last class. We're in the last class ولكن كانوا معنا two people that studied Chinese before. أنا ملي مشيت لChina, I only knew how to say hello and thank you. Nada. I didn't know how to say anything else. I'm very competitive, like really competitive. خصوصا في القراية. So هما كانوا they already وحدة she studied Chinese, a Mexican girl. She studied Chinese for a whole year. والآخر he already studied Chinese in Russia for like 3 or 4 months, which means they were way زعما the level was way too good. When we got there زعما when we had dictations or like questions or like whatsoever, I couldn't understand anything, and they could. Okay. Look, when we passed the dictations or the exams, the few quizzes before, I was so bad at it. It was normal because everybody was bad at it. We all didn't study Chinese before, but they were too good. Look, and I didn't. What my brain told me at the time is not that I should accept it as a beginner in the language. I took it in the bad way that they were really good and I was not. Why? And at the time, I didn't even know that they studied Chinese for that long and everything. Like what I did is, at first I had a lot of friends, but then later on I didn't hang out with them much. In room, I was luckily, I was alone in a single room. Everybody had like roommates, and I was alone. Everybody, like literally everybody, and I was alone, and so I had a lot of space to study late at night. Music libre. I used to listen to a lot of Chinese songs so that I get involved in the language and culture. I had, how to explain it? I had no excuses whatsoever. I used to call my parents for like 10 or 20 minutes a day. I had the money, the freedom, the time and everything. Look, I had no excuses whatsoever. Just gonna do a room like a crazy person. I used to study a lot. And even one day, a friend of mine, she sent me a text and she was like, shout out to her. She was like, man, I just wanted to tell you something. But I going abroad to study is not only about studying. Please have some fun. Please just go out and do something. And it was real. At the time, I didn't realize it, but come to think about it now, it was good, but kind of imbalanced because I used to focus a lot on this, on competitive and why are they good and why are they above and everything. Later on, it got me to a certain level. Alhamdulillah, I got to the level of just casual people studying Chinese in the same class. I got to that level, but at the same time, like 3 months in, I used to have very, very little interactions with other people. And most of the times I'm in my room, I didn't go out a lot. I didn't get involved in a lot of activities. For example, everybody used to go out. There was this coffee shop at school that everybody used to sit in, and I would just go next to that coffee shop and just skip it and just go to my room. It was, how am I going to explain it? I just got into a comfort zone of my own, which was good because the the goal was good. I was still studying really well and everything. But you want to have that fun and everything. Okay, and I didn't realize it until I came back. At the time I was like, okay, I'm doing really good for an international student. I think I'm doing it. This Alibaba Business School. I know, we have very crazy fate. Okay, let me tell you. Actually, fate. How things turned out for both of us is crazy. I went with him for the same year. Okay. Then we studied in Jiangsu University, the first year of Chinese, and we're supposed to go to another university, normal university, e-commerce, very normally. Then they offered the opportunity to Alibaba Business School. They were going to pick the 20 best CN students, the 20 best campus students. Okay, I was picked in the interview. I passed the interview. Everything was so good. Well, we had to pay. At the time, they said that we have to pay. It's an investment. There are no scholarships whatsoever. And it was kind of pricey. it's pricey when you think about it in the long term, about like 4 years of paying that. And then you think, if I want to go back to China, it's going to be very expensive with the everything going on in the world, the corona and that. Yeah. So I was like, I have a scholarship in another university, 100% full scholarship. And they were going to pay me every month and everything. So that was kind of a goal, a dream, everything looked so nice and the experience was going to be better. But okay, I'm going to go with the one that fits everything, you know, my parents, financially, everything. I'm just going to go with the safe one. So there's this funny thing that in the text I wrote for my application, I wrote down there, if I'm not with you this year, I'm going to be with you one day. You know, if I don't study in Alibaba Business School this year, I'm going to be there with you, either as a student or as a, you know, as something, I don't know. And I studied 1 year in that university I told you about, where I had the full scholarship and everything. And by the end of the year, I still looked for Alibaba Business School, what was going on, people are applying, everything. And when I applied, I asked for scholarships and they say, you can have a scholarship. Who told you can't have a scholarship? And I was like, okay, let me think about it. They didn't offer scholarships for CCN students at the time. That's my theory. If it's wrong, I don't know. But what I thought is when we went to CCN, the campus, we paid a lot of money. So these people know we have the money. They didn't offer scholarships maybe because they know we can pay for it. But for the other people, they offer scholarships. So I didn't go there for the first year. Everybody that accepted there that year is paying for it. And I reapplied. I got accepted with a full scholarship. So I'm not paying for anything. Even though you can say that that's one wasted year, but that's okay. I learned other stuff in that other university, and now I'm studying there with a scholarship. And the same thing happened with Emmy. We didn't get there for the first year, and now we're both studying there with a full scholarship, which is amazing. and somebody in the administration pointed out that sentence of, if I'm not going to be with you this year, I'm definitely going to be with you one day. He pointed it out. Right now, we're studying Chinese. We're in a very good level of Chinese, definitely better than the normal universities because I've tried them. Normal school, they don't care about anything, you know, they're just doing their thing. The teachers are just doing their thing. Any university teacher. Now we study for the first semester, for example, we studied Chinese. We studied e-commerce as a, how am I going to explain? There was this teacher that is not actually a teacher. He has a lot of stories in Alibaba and in Taobao and everything. And he explains how he sells and how he opens stores and websites and everything. So everything was practical, you know. He showed us how to open websites. Even our final exam was, you have to open stores and I'm going to rate them for you. Everything was, actually practical. Then we studied normal subjects like general economy and microeconomics. We had a class of Chinese culture, where, you know, we study about the food, the festivals, and everything in between. We also had another class that is digital economy, everything related to the digital, to the websites, everything in between. I think, yeah, these are the important subjects. For this semester, for example, we're studying web design, which is new. And we're studying, again, the e-commerce class, macroeconomics, again, Chinese. And yeah, those are the important subjects. Most of the students I know and I heard of, they already have their own startups, their stores. They started the work before the course, the 4 years is over, from what I know. And it makes sense because we're already studying how to do everything. And most of my classmates, to be honest, are very enthusiastic. I know for a fact that they're going to do something by themselves before those 4 years. We don't wait for a diploma. We're not going to apply for jobs. Personally speaking, and from Zama people I know, from Emmy, for example, and everything, I know that Zama Ana or Emin or anyone like us isn't going to wait for like a diploma to go and apply for a job. Most of it is going to be startups, projects. We have a lot of competitions. And if you win those competitions, they invest in you, things like this. It works like this, and I know it. There is this Moroccan guy, Lisa Wamsha, through CCN and studied in Alibaba and everything. He already won a competition, almost won a competition, and he had his own startup, Zisargan, from here to there. I mean knows him, and yeah, that's it. For the culture, it was very shocking. Everything was very different. Everything. From the language, obviously, to the food, people, the life in there. For example, okay, let me tell you something funny. When we first arrived there and we used to pay with cash, everybody would look at us like some uncultured people. Why are they paying with cash? And everybody was like, If there is like a huge, row of people wanting to pay, if they see cash ready, they're like sit there until they're finished because everybody uses their phone. Even if you use your credit card, your bank card, they're gonna look at you the same. Like you're way behind. Nobody uses cash. Nobody. And we used to struggle a lot because we didn't have our bank cards until like a month later. So we had to go through that for like a whole month. And we couldn't ride the buses, the school bus, because they don't take cash. The canteens, they don't take cash. A lot of places, which makes you think that they're that developed, that they don't even use cash. This is the first example. Okay, the second shock was the food. Even if you go to a canteen at 8 a.m. for breakfast, you would smell spices in food. They would eat noodles for breakfast. Not like noodles, milk or something, breakfast oriented. They would eat spicy noodles, beef noodles at breakfast. Which was weird at first. It smelled really weird in the canteen. You just woke up, you want something light, bread or something like that. No. They don't care. They don't have the difference between breakfast or lunch or anything. And they're very organized. They have breakfast at breakfast time, lunch time, and then dinner at dinner time, which is really early. So when you go to canteens at specific times, for example, 7:30 to 8, everybody's having breakfast. They're full. Then lunchtime, then evening. It's very rare to find the canteens full besides that. And, again, organized, very organized people. Something else that was really shocking. They're not racist. For me, I don't think they're not racist. For example, if you go to another place, they would just treat you like any other person. But sometimes they are. For example, I used to go to banks and they would give numbers to everybody in the bank and a specific number to a foreigner, and they would leave him last. But I think I understand why, because there's this language fear. They're scared to speak English. They're scared to speak with us. They don't even put the idea that we can speak Chinese and we can talk with them. No. Sometimes you even speak Chinese to them and they don't understand you because in their brain, we can't speak Chinese. So you're speaking Chinese to them and they're like, no, I don't understand. Because, they're scared. They're very anxious towards foreigners. They're fat phobic, that's for sure. They look at you different when you're kind of chubby because everybody's skinny, most of them. That's a fact. That's true. I've been there. I know it for a fact. I lived there. I've seen it. And yeah, there's that. But besides that, there were really nice people who could fit in very easily compared to, for example, Koreans or other Asian cultures that I haven't been quite in contact with. They're very nice people and very organized, very, time is very precious for them. I once had a meeting with a teacher face to face. And I was late, 5 minutes late, and she was leaving. And I was like, I'm just 5 minutes late. And she was like, I'm your teacher. You're the one supposed to wait for me. You're the one who's supposed to be here like half an hour earlier to meet me. So yeah, there's that. When you go مثلا the cities, the small cities next to the big cities, the rural areas, they are so nice that they even take pictures with you. Why? Because China is كتير بزاف. Foreigners don't visit those places. Like when you go there, you're not Asian, you're not, and you're different. It's so shocking for them that they want to take pictures. And I've been there. واحد المرة we were visiting a historical place, and there's this mom that told her son, "They're foreigners, go take pictures." Why Goran? And he came running and we just took the picture and he left. So the first year, we were in contact a lot with Russians, a lot of Mexicans, a lot of people from Thailand, some from Korea, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, the drill. Not a lot of Chinese people, but we had contact with, let me explain this. The Chinese students who are studying to be teachers. So they just come our night classes and they practice. It's like they're practicing to be teachers. So yeah, I think that's the only contact we had with Chinese. Life, we met them. Personally speaking, I don't like Russians. Mexicans, Mexicans, you're really gonna think, oh my God, they're so alike. Their minds are like some kind, the laughs, they're so funny, they're so fun, they're clear-hearted. Russians, you can be in a group of Russians and they're gonna speak Russian about you. A lot of times it happened to us. Yeah, they're like this. I don't like them, but internally speaking, when you're a foreigner, you don't get that deep with them. So everything is fun. Everybody's fun. Everybody's trying to be nice. I don't like Russians, personally speaking. And Moroccans were very few compared to them. We were like three Moroccans in my class, Anna, Amin, and another guy. And then in the other class, two girls. That's it from Morocco. But not Russians, they were like 100 much. So, 100 or 120. The whole CN year. Mexicans, Taloma, they were a lot, about 50, 55. I don't know. I'm not accurate with it. I'm just trying to tell you that they were a lot. People from Thailand, few of them. People from Mongolia, very, very few of them. And Uzbekistan, Tajikistan. These are the minorities, but the majority was Mexico and Russia. Now, very few of us, which was cool. Everybody knew everybody. I'm gonna be honest. I love to stand out. I'm in a group of people. Everybody's the same, and I did stand out at the time. Alhamdulillah, everybody's the same. We're the same level, except those two people I told you about. And we were there. I was 17. I didn't have much going on. I didn't have any other goals besides the actual goals. The fun, everything. I knew that I can have that in between the holidays and everything. I didn't care about it much because my actual friends, my high school friends were in a different, which was, okay, they're far, they're doing their thing. I'm going to join them later. I'm going to do my thing for this year. And I had the scholarship in my mind. Remember, my parents didn't allow me at first. من غير argument the scholarship. I love to stand out, there is this group of people, somebody could achieve this thing in this certain period, and I did. And I was so competitive and I love to stand out, which led me to this here. You don't need to overthink a lot. All you need when you get out is your phone, the keys to your room. Literally, that's all I needed. You pay everything with your phone. You're not worried that somebody's going to steal your phone. That's not something that you consider if you look into people that you don't trust. Definitely not Chinese people. Sometimes you can even leave your stuff in a place and you're going to go back and find your place your stuff in the exact same. For example, I went to a coffee shop. I can leave my laptop and my clothes to the room because everything was close by. I can go to my room, bring something or do something or go bring my delivery and I'm gonna go back and find everything as I like. It's crazy. And I had a bike. My friend had a bike. When I went to Hangzhou, we used to go out at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and nobody would talk to us. Nobody would let's not take this one. This place is a risk. No, not at all. You don't overthink a lot of things. A lot of life basics. Safety is something very important. Your father, no, it's too risky. Just stay home. There are a lot of things that you don't need to think about. And on the professional level, for example, you're not worried banks might, do the thing. You're a foreigner, they might do the thing. They're gonna, no. Everything is very organized. Oh my God, this is organized for me. البوس يديروا الصف على قبل البوس. And it's tiring for us Moroccans, you don't want to take الصف على قبل the bus. When I first saw it, I even took a video of it. I'm like, are they serious? To this level. And it's university bus. ماشي حتى الباص ديال برا. University bus. And فهمتي كتولي في شي بلاصه الصف على البوس كامل. But I'm just telling you how life is. It's too organized that sometimes it's tiring us for people who didn't grow up in that organized of culture. So yeah, that's how we describe it. It's very pretty, besides all of that. China's زوينة بزاف. من غير داك البلايص اللي developed, the malls and everything. Some places are really pretty. Meaning when I travel to Hangzhou, but then when you go into the train, everything is so pretty. You need some places that are very famous and they're really pretty. I'm telling you. Even though Morocco is more beautiful, احنا المغرب ديالنا ما كيتقارنش على الصعيد ديال هادشي. It's very pretty country. And I can Xinjiang. You have Jiangsu, you can just say Jiangsu. And I traveled to Hangzhou. If you remember, my high school friends were in a different city, so I went to them in the holidays. When I wanted to travel such way, the normal train, and then 2 hours and a half in the normal train, I was talking about that. It's kind of far, ولكن هي حدا Shanghai. بينها وبين Shanghai 1 hour. And it's the city that we're going to be living in when we go back. I mean, it's very pretty. وحتى the buildings, everything has a meaning. If you look up, I can send a video later. Hangzhou, they have like these 7 buildings that are kind of holding hands باش يبينوا زعما the union. There is this building على شكل ديال sun that is facing the sun باش زعما ديك الانرجي تطلع عندهم من ديك الكومباني, you know, things like this. It's crazy. Some stuff are just, oh my god. حيت هذيك السيري بحال اش نقول لك بحال ستاتش فيها غير لون سي ستاتش. هذيك المدينه كانت معروفه بجانكسو ولا université راه I can't describe how huge universities are in China. I can't. Just to move وسط من اليونيفرسيتي شريت موطور because مثلا from my room to القسم it took me about 25 minutes. I'm just telling you from my room to the class. Yeah, let me describe something about just sorry. In that dorm, we weren't mixed with other nationalities. We weren't mixed with Chinese. The dorm ديالنا كان ديال foreigners 100% to avoid problems and racism and everything. It was just our universities. It's not a common thing in China. My friend, they were all mixed Chinese, مغاربة, everything. كنا كنخرجوا there is this huge alley. تحت كاين basket field, football field. زعما بزاف ديال fields. And I'm telling you, they're huge. I'm telling you, they're so huge. You have to see them. And then there's like this huge alley in واحد المكتبة. Let me tell you, احنا وسط university, even if it was a university, we had a high school place, yeah, and we had elementary school place. Now, when we go through that place, we see elementary students. They study inside our university, and everybody has to live in the dorm. من غير elementary students, I think they don't. But again, for university students, everybody has to live in the dorm. Even if he lives وقيلا أنفاس مع اليونيفرسيتي خصوصا موسم اليونيفرسيتي الداخل in the dorm اللي they live 4 in a room ما عندهمش حمام كيخرجوا برا وكيدوشوا برا الدورمز ديالهم. Okay, they all shower together, they sleep together, they study together. كيدفعوا عليهم الضو مع 11 كاملين. Donc this might sound hard ولكن I wish this was more common because they're very organized and because of that. Okay, dorm from early ages, so they're very used to the common life, the organized life, out of their comfort zone. Yeah, their parents. He's still with his parents. They're take care of him and everything in between. Okay, I was talking about the library when I first got to the university. I was like, okay, this is the place where everybody studies. Yeah, this is our classes are here. Like, no, this is the library. It's so huge that I thought that was our main building. Yeah, everybody studies in there. Like, no, this is just a library. It's a 6th floor building. It's huge. It's crazy. And everybody was chill about it. No, it's just a library. It's so huge. I couldn't wrap my but when I see the university, there is no way this is the library. So yeah, I'm just telling you how huge it is. And this is not only in my university. This is very common. Libraries, they live in a 4 person's room. 4 people in the same room. You don't have enough space to study. You're disturbed. واحد باغي ينعس واحد باغي يفيق and everything. So everybody goes to the library. It's either in their classes, the night classes. So even if it's 9 or 10 p.m., we still find people studying in their classes or a library. And this is something crazy also about Chinese students. Exams period, generally speaking, you don't find your place. It's not easy to find a place in the library. You go there and you look and look and look. People are leaving and you sit there. But in exams period, you're not going to find your place. Hey, they go super early and then you go to a chair and you find a pen in the chair ولا a book ولا أي حاجة لقيتها. That means that place is reserved. ما تقدرش تحيد داك السير من بلاصتو when you just sit. You can't. Because that place belongs to somebody. وبحال if you watch K-dramas ولا C-dramas, you see people piling up books في مكتبة بزاف ديال الكتوبة وكيحطهم قدامهم وكيبقاو يقراو. This happens in real life. It is like that. كيمشيو كيجمعوا الكتوبة وكيحطوا كتبهم كاملين في الطبلة. And they start studying book by book. Everything is so real. It's so crazy. But yeah, there's that. As I told you, they are very, very critical about university. ماشي غير في مدينتنا. احنا كما قلتي, we have a small city and yet our university is that huge. Green places and library and supermarkets and places where you can buy phone stuff with chargers and everything. Everything is inside university. كلشي. Everything in between. And you find supermarket, you might think, oh my god, I'm not gonna find this in there. Everything is there. So I think they invest a lot in universities. ماشي غير ديالي, كاع les universités اللي شفت are very worth. والlibraries ديالهم are huge. كاملين. They play on this university. It's very hard to find زعما شي حاجة on your cuisine, either salt ولا sweet. حنا راه باش لقينا الخبز اللي فيتساس, it took us months. باش لقينا داكشي باش نبغيو نفطروا. I mean, when we find something, we treasure it. كيجيبها القسم. شوفي إيمان, this is the thing. كنبقاو لا تكتل عندنا في راسنا. We have this thing. كان واحد الباستا أنا وأمين اللي حاجة هما الحلاوة ما عندهمش داكشي زوين. doesn't taste good. وكان واحد الباستا اللي ولا كنا ناكلو انا وامي كل نهار ولا شكون بيناتنا ولا هو اللي نفس الشيء راح كنمشي نشري جيبه ولا كنمشي انا became a habit حيت there is that ودرنا انا وامين a lot of discovering شحال حاجه جربناها was awful شحال حاجه زوينه كنتبادلوها so yeah there's that كان مترو كان سميتو مترو and هو اللي فيه الباستا هو اللي فيه الفرomاج راه باكيه ديال لافاش كيريتمو كاينه باكيه لافاش كيري كدير شي 70 درهم ديال 12 بياس وكانت اكسبنسيف ولكن بحال مثلا اوليف اويل كنت شريت very expensive ولكن it was worth it حيت you know when your parents كانوا كيقول لك خذ اوليف اويل دير عطريه it was for a reason راه oh my god I'm so stupid why didn't I do that it's nothing there is that وكان واحد المحل عربي ولكن everything was expensive ماشي that expensive ولكن you know you kind of invest in those stuff كيبيع العطريه ديالنا داكشي بالعربيه when you see Arabic فهمتي راه investment and about the en general Muslims we used to have a lot of there is this term I don't know if it's coincidence ولا شي حاجه ولكن usually en face مع les universités كاين حلال restaurant always كاع اليونيفرسيتي ديما كتلقى نير باي واحد ريستورون حلال فيه مسلمين لداخل كتدخل كتلقى ديك الصوره اللي كتكون عند بزاف ديال واحد الدريه دايره بحال هكا وفيها اسماء الله كتلقاها عندهم كيكونوا مسلمين دايرين الزيف دايرين الكليبه الحياه and we used to eat there a lot حيت ماكله حلال ما كتكونش فيها الشك بزاف كتكون الطبيعه ديال الحلال دونك it's halal food and it's tasty compared to other things so we used to go there a lot it was super oily كنا ديما كنتشكاو عليه super oily ولكن كان زوين وهما اللي اكتشفوا امين وازار e-commerce شينوا it's crazy imagine people buy everything online and they even buy fruits and vegetables online and I did that I literally tried the food the vegetables and fruits I ordered them online it was really fresh the delivery man came all the way to my dorm everything was paid online it was the easiest thing I ordered in class and we said to the class and I got to my room everything was already there it's crazy they buy everything online the food the clothes and it's really cheap it's crazy cheap I'm telling you it's crazy cheap Zema. When I went there the clothes you know people say slate chinois is bad but slate chinois that they consume is crazy good people think that if the product is cheap it's not going to be good I didn't work with that at all in China that doesn't apply in China from my own experience again people's experience are different working for my own when I was searching for stuff online I didn't think oh my god this is so cheap it's going to be bad quality not at all this is cheap okay let's see the reviews very honest reviews very good products for very cheap prices it was great it was amazing people believe that the necessities have to be cheap clothes accessories mirrors stuff like this books everything in between is very cheap I think it's way cheaper than any other destination for me at the time I think it's way cheaper than France Spain Europe en général déjà que ما بيناش وبينهم بزاف في العمله دونك 1 yuan ديالهم هي 1.3 درهم ديالنا donc there is not much of a difference and it's really cheap rent is cheap لو بغيتي تشري you can rent a small apartment ب 1000 درهم في الشهر 1200 درهم for a student حنا الدورم ديالنا was really cheap I think زعما personally كما قلت clothes are very cheap accessories and زعما all life necessities اي حاجه غتحتاجها as a necessity هما راه they include some of things are luxury in Morocco حاجه اللي بغيتي تشريها راه is going to be expensive because it's not necessary for them now a website called Taobao it's heaven but they sell everything I even bought a bike motor littéralement 2500 dirhams a very well functioning new clean bike 2300 dirhams it worked perfectly for 6 months الشارج ديال حيت everything is electrical for us charge you can charge it but ب 10 دراهم for 3 days I'm just giving you actual insight okay for example fruits are very cheap مثل ananas among everything 5 دراهم 6 دراهم a big pack everything is so cheap water كنا كنشريو واحد 15 لتر كبيره بزاف ديال الماء ب 8 كواش 15 درهم ماكسيموم 15 درهم ماكسيموم 15 لتر I'm telling you rent كما قلت لك very cheap transportation البوس داير درهم كواي واحد مترو داير 3 يعني 5 دراهم مترو 5 دراهم 6 دراهم it depends on the city you know we didn't have a metro in our city but when I went to Hangzhou it was really cheap the train كاين غير normal trains we use the speed train. For example, maybe مدينة ومدينة. Okay, let me give you insight. بس سواق التران. In the fast train, 2 hours and a half. بس سواق التران في المغرب وداير 250 درهم. بس سواق التران ديالنا 250 درهم. Donc 3 hours in a fast train, but a good price. I think you even find it as a good price. Yeah, really good prices of everything overall. 1500 1800 درهم for normal expenses. And by saying normal expenses, it includes clothes. Okay, because I told you clothes are very, very it includes clothes. Mode, by the way, it wasn't included there. كنا كنخلصوا 35 درهم 45 درهم. It depends again on how you use electricity in your room, the water and everything. I think it was cheap, over cheap. If you're kind of
دونت فيها كتخلص electricity
we have a card. Yeah, we have a card. You put money in the card and you go لواحد الماشين عندنا في الدور من تحت. You pay for example, you put 35 yuan. 35 كواي 35 كواي غتبقى دور حتى تقاضى. كتدخل الروم ديالك. This is what happened for me. كتدخل الروم كتلقى الماء والضوء. لا الماء كان ما كيقطعوش لينا ولكن الضوء كيقطعوا لينا صافي. And then you go pay again. It depends. Sorry. It depends on how you use your money and you use your. You have a lot of laptops. People are definitely gonna be paying more. And I was alone, so everything was crazy. Because sometimes they used to cut electricity in the middle of the shower or something. It happened to me a lot of times because you can't tell. This is how it worked in our dorm. Let's go back. How much money? I had this girlfriend. She's a girl. She used to, waste a lot of money. She used to go out a lot, restaurants a lot of clothes, everything in between. كانت كتخسر about 3000 درهم 3200 درهم. But that's, I'm telling you, that somebody who wastes a lot of money. That's the maximum. If you waste more than that, probably you're giving out money like a kid live food or something like that. Because a month, that's a lot of money. And in popular opinion, I like online classes. I love them. I'm a morning person. Donc, for the first semester when we first came back, our classes were at 6 a.m. Productive at 5:30. The coffee, the Instagram thing. Sometimes you just have to adapt to romanticize whatever you're going through. And at the time, I used to romanticize it. I used to have that coffee. The setup was good. To make things better. It was kind of easier, to be honest with you. We had a lot of free times. For example, when I was in China for the semester, we used to study from 8 to 5. We had night classes. Those teachers, they practice on us. Look, we didn't have time at all. Vraiment at all. The self-study part was brilliant. And then when you self-study at night, you don't wake up well. Look, it's a cycle. And then now we study from 6 to 1 or 6 to 2 p.m. I had the whole evening. I used to self-study a lot because languages, it's not enough to study languages now, a teacher and everything. I used to self-study. I did a lot of things for the confinement. I learned cooking. I used to watch a lot of things. And I saw the bright side of it. I had a lot of free time. In my life, I had a lot of free times for the past 2 years. I have, generally speaking, it's the whole evenings. ذاك العام اللي قريت online the normal university, we used to study from 1 to 5 a.m. بالليل. Everything was changed, but still it had its own vibe. It was kind of bad, كتفيق بالليل and everybody's just living their life out there. In normal universities, normal life, but still was part of the journey. I think it's very free. It's not that good concernant the practical subjects بحال e-commerce بحال داكشي where students where teachers want to take students to places, to journeys and everything. But on the other side of it, we have a lot of free time. We can self-study, we can grow other things. For example, I joined ISEC, if you ever heard of ISEC. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff about studies. You can even work. It didn't work for me. I worked for like 2 months strategy, but it didn't actually work for me. Jumping, I just focused on studying. So yeah, that's. At first, I just took my back and I wanted to go to China. I was thinking about doing a bachelor in there and a master in UK. But I gave up that idea, صراحة, honestly, because I don't see myself studying after the bachelor because I think it's a very rich program. Yeah, most definitely. I think it's a very rich program. If I'm going to stay in China, there are a lot of opportunities in China, to be honest. A lot. It's very developed. Any idea you study through these 4 years of e-commerce and everything is going to be easier to develop in China. It's obviously they have already been using those stuff for years. it's gonna be very hard and challenging to use it in Morocco. ولكن if there's an opportunity ولا من هنا ل 3 years there's this window of more developed or more IT ولا كيفاش نقول لك web زعما digital Morocco maybe ولكن for now definitely thinking of staying in China for المهم أنا so far as I told you I still have 3 long years. It always depends on what these 3 years are going to bring. So the plans making back are different from the plans I had when COVID happened, are different from the plans I have now. صراحة I'm open to anything, especially if it's like a new, maybe another country in Asia, maybe here in Morocco. If you ever fall upon this recording or a video whatsoever, I just want to tell you it's fine to romanticize some stuff that sound negative or bad. For example, experiences in reality they're not that good. In reality, for example, this online thing has a lot of negative sides. Journalism on your own study course. It's fine to romanticize some things that are bad because it's good for your mental health. Yeah, the outcome might not be as good as, for example, offline classes. The outcome is definitely not as good, but I've been living those 2 years and I'm kind of fine with it. It gets hard sometimes, you get sick of it. Sometimes you don't wake up for them. Sometimes you just, oh my God, I'm so sick of it. But generally, yes. Also, if you're young, there's nothing like you're too young for it. This is just out of fear and anxiety. If somebody want to hold you down, for example, your parents, not hold you down, they want to keep you with them or they want to keep you for something that sounds too risky. They're gonna take the argument of you're too young. You're never too young for anything. You know yourself. It's mental. Sometimes people grow at a very young age. Sometimes others don't. There's nothing that this is the saying that I hate the most. We're too young for it. I hate it. I don't go by it, and definitely I don't want anybody to go by it. Also, thank you so much for listening to me and for asking all these questions. It's really fun to talk about it anytime. And okay, I just wanted to tell people if there's anything you want to do, just go for it. It can sound very risky or very dangerous. For example, going to China, another continent, very far from home. Everybody was scared and they had their own opinions. It's fine. Everybody has their own opinion. You don't need to care about them, even if they're close, even if they're your parents or your friends or anything. Okay, I love you, but that's your idea. It's not mine. So yeah, just go for it. You're not too young for it. You're not too old for it. That's important as well.